So when we opened, we had some key points really that we wanted to make sure transferred to all areas of work, which is that sustainability would obviously be at the heart of everything that we do, and it's about helping people find ways to reduce their impact on the environment. One of the biggest impacts obviously is carbon emissions, but that we would do it in a way that was engaging and positive, that there wouldn't be any finger wagging, that it's not about making people feel guilty, but that it's actually about helping people find positive experiences. And we also decided quite early on that our target audience would be adults and not children. There was a lot of scope, and there still is a lot of scope to do a lot of work with schools, and we are developing that area of work. But when we started 5 years ago, we decided that people needed support. There's a lot out there about, in terms of academic papers about climate change, lots of discussions. It's kind of hard to sometimes find your way through all of that. So we were aimed at adults to give them practical support to make changes in their own lifestyles. We work on a whole range of projects, so they've kind of developed over time. So some of the first projects that we set up were our garden project out here. So every Thursday morning we have a team of volunteers who come and work with our coordinator to develop the space that was a lawn but is now our vegetable plots. So we have a wildlife area, permaculture inspired garden, forest garden, allotment plots, a herb garden, which was designed by one of the local school children. I was recruited. This building was empty. Well, there was nothing on the walls. It was just a nicely new refurbished building, and I worked with the management committee and with another person to develop ideas for programmes of activities. The Ecocentre is a project of Central England Quakers. The building is owned by the Quakers.
Right.
And the funding came from the sale of another Quaker meeting house to renovate this building in a sustainable way. So it was a second-hand bookshop, and the tenancy expired, and the tenant moved out, and the building, this room, needed repair. And so they decided that they would do it up with as many sustainable features as they could.
Right.
So we have a solid wall building, and it has internal solid wall insulation. We had, when we opened, a solar panel for hot water. We have a air source heat pump because there's no gas. The air source heat pump converts heat from the environment outside. We also have this big ventilator system up here, which is a heat exchanger, which make sure that you get fresh air in the building. So all those features were put in, and whilst they were doing that project, they decided to open the Ecocentre as a public building for people to come in and get practical support on doing the same sorts of things in their own homes. So we also set up quite early on a sewing and crafts group, which was about reusing materials. Obviously you've got your 4 R's as kind of a central concept of sustainability, so repair, reduce, reuse and recycle. The sewing group is obviously about repairing and reusing. Groups we have developed now to running, for instance, for the garden, we've got 2 community gardens. So we now have a Macefield community garden and allotment site which we run, which is sort of 5-10 minutes from here. It's a much bigger site, and we have on site a forest school and outdoor learning area. We have a polytunnel. We have an earth oven, and we're about to build a second one. We're building compost toilets, herb spirals, plastic bottle greenhouses, and it's just fabulous. It's a beautiful oasis of calm in the urban south of Birmingham. Other people have set up a project called Urban Harvest, and they came to us 2 years ago and said they couldn't continue it and could we support them. So the first year we helped them pick fruit. The second year we took it over and we crowdfunded £10,000 to continue the project, which is to pick fruit that would be left to rot. So it's in private gardens and on community land. We go into people's backyards basically and pick their fruit and take it away and give it to schools, children's centres. We've given it to the South Birmingham Homeless Project to change kitchen to local businesses that need access to fresh local fruit. We've made jams and chutneys and preserves, we've made juice, and so we're selling some of that to put money back into the project. We also plant trees, so we've got an orchards and woodlands project. In the 2 years between 2012 and 2014, we planted 1,600 trees, created 20 community orchards. The next phase of that project is to plant another 2,000 trees over the next 2 years. As long as there's a group of people who are willing to take ownership of those trees and look after them, then we'll plant them in community land, but they're not for private gardens.